Hello, welcome back to another video on Vedic astrology. In this video I am going to talk about the upcoming Saturn transit that's going to happen on November 2nd, 2014, wherein Saturn is moving from Tula Rashi or Libra into the sign called Vrishchika Rashi, also referred as Scorpio. This video is for all those people who have their moon in the sign called Kumbha, also known as Aquarius. So let's move on to the whiteboard so we can discuss this in detail. This particular place is called Kumbha, the 11th sign from Aries. It is Aquarius. So if you have your moon in this particular portion of the zodiac or of the 12 signs, if you find the moon here in the South Indian chart, then you are a Kumbha Rashi person. You can see that Jupiter is already in the 6th house from the moon sign. The transit happened on June 19th, 2014. It was previously in the 5th house, a very auspicious place, and from there he has moved into the 6th, and it's an unfavorable house. Phaladipika, the classical textbook which dealt with the transit of planets with regard to the moon, says that you will have to go through trouble because of your enemies, and they specifically mention it is most probably your cousins. But it may not be only the cousins, it can be in general any type of competitors, enemies, etc. Also, you are susceptible to diseases. To make this information positive, all you have to do is try to avoid the enemies. Don't meet them, don't make them, or don't create them. So don't create enmity. If at all they are after you, then you can always retreat and not meet them head on. Another way of using the information on disease is that whenever you fall sick, give a lot of importance to that. Don't neglect it. Don't go in for self-medication, which is already bad. And because Jupiter is in the 6th, simple health problems can get complicated. In most cases, I found Jupiter in the 6th giving problems to the liver and most probably to the glands, because Jupiter rules all the glands. So it is better that you use common sense here, and if you've been drinking alcohol, then it is better to be very careful, drink in moderation at least, or try to give it up totally, because the liver can get affected whenever the Jupiter is in the 6th house. At the same time, when Jupiter is in the 6th house, Saturn on November 2nd, 2014, from the 9th house shifts over into the 10th house. He hasn't been good for Kumbha Rashi people right from here. It was the 7th, then they went through the Ashtama Shani, and then they went through the not so good 9th house, and then now it is in the 10th house. Now this time it is going to enter the 10th house, where he is going to stay here for 2.5 years. And one of the indications of this transit is wrong action. Sometimes you can also call it a sinful action. So beware of such actions that can get you into trouble. And then loss of honor, your name being spoiled, and scandals, especially in relation to your profession. All that is possible during the time when Saturn goes over the 10th house. But the last one, which is disease, it looks like the disease is indicated, and this disease can actually affect your profession, your career. So be very careful with Saturn the 10th. If you have simple complaints, go in for a master health checkup, especially if your age is greater than 45. So you can see that the disease seems to be a common factor here. You may be absent from your work because of your health problems, because of your health concerns. You may not be able to work regularly. One good news about Saturn being in the 10th is it is going towards the 11th, which is a very auspicious house. And most astrologers have been saying that somewhere around halfway through, Saturn starts getting better and better because it is heading to the 11th, which is a very favorable house. Another way of looking at the transit is find out what is the Sarvashvarga score in this particular sign. If it is greater than or equal to 28, it won't be that bad, and if it is less than 28, then it is whatever we said here is most likely to happen. In the same way, the Ashtavarga of Jupiter, if the score is greater than or equal to 4, you don't have to worry so much about this. But if it's less than 4, then whatever has been said here is most likely to happen. The same holds good here. If the Sarvashvarga score is greater than 28, you're not going to see much of this. There will be, the effects would get reduced. And in the Ashvarga of Saturn, if the score is greater than or equal to 3, also you will not find this working all the time. It will not be challenging all the time. Whenever we study the effects of transits, usually we ignore the minor planets, all of them. There are 7 more of them in your horoscope. We are not so much concerned about them. But the truth is they all have a great say in the net transit results. So even if this transit is not looking good, don't worry about it. In a long time, like 2.5 years or 1 year or longer periods of time, you will have so many other planets that go through several houses, and you will get some good time just because your sun in that particular month was in a very favorable house. It doesn't mean that the entire 2.5 years is going to be bad, or the entire Jupiter, entire 1 year of Jupiter transit is going to be bad. Never it is like that. For example, if the moon comes to your first house, or your third house, or your 6th, or your 7th, or your 10th, and your 11th, then obviously you will find some relief. So, in a video like this, due to time constraints, we are just doing only 2 planets. On a day-to-day basis, if you have to do this, then you will have to learn the effects of all other planets, and then combine the net result and find out how that particular day is going to be. And another way of looking at transit is that this just is a temporary phase, and if you are working very hard, and then if you put in your prayers, regular prayers in your preferred place of worship, and then if you add charity, especially on Saturdays, then you don't have to really worry about the bad effects of Saturn. That's all for Kumbha Rashi people, and in my next video I am going to do the last one, the 12th sign, which is Meena Rashi or Pisces moon sign. So until then, goodbye. Thank you.